a Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme right now. Sounds so bomb. Alright, so today we have a Shadow and Schmooze video on the look I'm wearing right now. These are some of my favorite videos to film, and I asked you guys in 2 weeks ago's Foundation Friday video, the Wet n Wild one, to leave any questions that you want answered in the comment section, so I'm literally just pulling all of my questions from that video. It's a weird day. I've had every technological issue possible happen today. If this is your first Shadow and Schmooze, this is where we put on makeup and talk about life and I answer any of your questions. I love getting to know you guys as well in these videos, so if you're new or if you just want to say hi, leave a comment down below with where you are from and what do you do? What do you do in life? Let me know. If you want to see how I got this look, you're in the right place, just keep watching. Alright, I have my chin reflector today. I was picturing like a tiny ass triangle. This thing is giant. Hopefully my chin is now lit up. It actually makes a difference if I hold it right here. This is without, if you look at my chin, it's darker, and then with, this is reflecting the light, so it's like an equal amount of light. But I can't sit it here on my lap because it's freaking huge, so I have it on the floor. Kind of makes a difference maybe? I don't know. I have had technological issues from hell today. Hoping my mic's plugged in. We're back in my room, obviously. So I've already washed, moisturized, and I've primed my face with the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Pore Defense Primer Serum. Silicone-free, oil-free, alcohol-free. My skin is majorly breaking out on my chin right now. I'm pretty sure it's from the Face Atelier foundation that I did on Foundation Friday. What are you doing here? My hair is a shit show right now. This day is just a shit show. I usually film first thing in the morning, like right when I wake up, and it is 3 p.m. in the afternoon right now. So I'm gonna jump into the questions in a second, but let's start out with foundation so I can start putting stuff on my face. So Milani just released a brand new shade in their Conceal and Perfect foundation, 00 Light Natural. This is the new lightest shade. It is still not pale princess friendly. It's still pretty dark and super yellow. I still have to mix in a lightener with this for sure. I do have a whole old review on this product, but because it's too dark and it's pretty matte and it's pretty yellow, I'm gonna mix in the Josie Maran Vibrancy Foundation Fluid. I have a whole video on this. Love this foundation. It is super dewy and it's also very pink toned, so I think this might be a good combo. Whoa, I actually just found a clean brush. Hallelujah. All of the products will be linked down below. I'm not going to be mentioning exactly what I'm using each time probably. So let's start answering questions. So Ashley S says, when are you going to film Pale Shades contour video? So that is still coming. I swear that Milani foundation is still, the yellow is still coming through. I don't even know if it's yellow. It's almost like a weird orange tint to it. It's bizarre. Emma Costello says, you mentioned you booked a random one-way ticket to China. Why are you planning on going there and when? I mentioned the other day on Snap that I booked a ticket to China. It was super random and super like spur of the moment, which tends to be how I book most trips. I would just totally way rather spend my money on plane tickets and traveling than cars and clothes and bags and things like that. I took a couple trips last year. I went to Iceland and Norway and actually vlogged it, so if you missed that, I'll put the vlog over here. But I just realized, like, what am I doing? I want to travel more this year. I have the flexibility. There's really no excuse not to. And there are really affordable ways to travel. You don't have to spend a ton of money traveling. You can volunteer. You can use World Keeper, what's it called? You can like exchange skills for staying. You can work in hostels. You can stay places for free through different websites. I'll put a couple of them down below if you're curious. But anyways, off topic. So I'm going back to Jordan this summer and I was trying to get my friend to come who was also in Jordan when I was there. And he is currently getting his master's in China, which is very cool. Very proud of you, Arbor. He watches my videos. And China's one of those places that I probably just wouldn't go to if I didn't know someone there or if I had like an excuse to go there. To be totally honest, it's not at the top of my places that I want to see, but when you know someone in a country, he's pretty much fluent in Chinese. It's just so nice to be able to see a country that way versus just being a complete tourist and going. So I haven't booked the plane ticket back yet because I don't really know what I'm doing. I think we may be going to Taiwan afterwards, and then I'm looking into doing Spain afterwards just because it's only like $150 or $200 ticket from China to Spain, and it's on the way back obviously. But I'm super excited, and that's in May. Totally pulling this down my neck because this color still looks off. Yeah, I'm not liking this. Milani. Tarte Shape Tape and G38 by Morphe. China will be in May. Pretty sure Jordan's gonna be in July. And I'm trying to figure out my apartment situation. I really wish I could Airbnb out my room or something. That's a whole other topic. I think there was actually a question about that. Okay, let's move on. Glitter M says, for your Shadow and Schmooze video, what are your goals in 2017, either personally or career? One of my super, I guess, attainable goals is to write in I have a 5-day journal. It's actually on my bed. Not 5-day, 1 line a day, 5-year memory book. And I actually did it for an entire year one time. Printed them out before, so these pages are like huge right now. But this is super cool. It's basically for 5 years. You can fill in the year. You write an entry, just 1 line every single day. And I have a pretty horrible memory when it comes to certain things. And whenever I look back on my year, I remember like the main things that happened, but there's just so many things that I feel like I forget. So I just want to start jotting down every single day 1 line, something that happened or something that I did or something that stood out. And I feel like it's just a good way to remember the small things. Not every day is like a big, you know, event for most of us. So that's a small goal, and you can get that off of Amazon for like 10 bucks. I'll link it down below. Yeah, traveling a lot this year is a goal. Continuing to focus on my health. I feel like I've made major improvements the last year, so continuing to try to put my health first. And I don't mean by like eating healthy and stuff or like going to the gym. I mean, I guess that's part of it. That should probably be on the list. I'm gonna take my Stargazer powder that I use to set my under eyes. And then career, I definitely have separate goals that I don't really want to talk about. Sarah Petrilla says, non-beauty question, do you have any tips on moving to a new city? Yes, I do. Let's go in with the Laura Geller Balance and Brighten. No, Double Take Baked Powder to set. I would say the hardest time I ever had living and moving to a new city was after Jordan, when I lived in Israel for a summer. I was totally by myself. I didn't know anyone there at the time, which is weird because I usually know like someone who's living in Israel at a certain point. Just because if you're Jewish, it just happens. But I knew no one. I was completely on my own. And so what I would do was go to like the hostel kitchens. This doesn't apply as much in the US, but if you're international and you're trying to meet people, go to hostel kitchens, even if you're not staying there. They have like events and stuff, and kitchens are just a place where people always like congregate, and it's really easy to meet people there. But as far as like in the US or wherever you are, I would say force yourself to go out and do things, especially when you first move there. When you start talking to people and you can say like, oh yeah, I just moved here a couple weeks ago, it just like opens bridges that you don't get the longer that you've been in a place, if that makes sense. I will say it is, oh, I need bronzer. It is hard to meet people as an adult, way harder than it is in college, just because you have like your circle at work, and then it's basically up to you to form those other circles, whether you meet them at, you know, the gym or coffee shops or wherever, like friends of friends. And if you move to a new city, you really just need one person. You need one person, and that can open up their whole friend group. If you have one person, it is so much easier to go do things. I mean, when I was living in Israel, I did everything by myself because I didn't know anyone at first, and then you just meet people and it gets easier. And sometimes it's really discouraging because you feel like you're not meeting anyone, especially if you're like me. I'm actually an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert, which is a thing. Google it. I can force myself to be extroverted, but after I do that, it is mentally exhausting to me. I love being alone. So it can be hard. Like, I definitely have to force myself to do those kinds of things when I'm traveling and when I'm just in Seattle too. Just went in with the MUA Eyebrow kit that I used in the Hidden Drugstore video. I've been loving the shade as a contour. It is perfect. But that's one of the things I feel like that traveling alone taught me how to do. Yeah, I think it's funny because a lot of people think if you do YouTube, you're like super extroverted and you love being the center of attention and you love being in front of the camera and all this stuff. And for me, it's actually the opposite. Right now, I'm sitting in a room by myself. In a sense, it feels like you're not talking to thousands of people. If I had to get up in front of even 15 people and like do a toast or something, like I hate that shit. I don't like that at all. I've never enjoyed having attention on me, but sometimes you just have to suck it up and do it. Especially in work situations, I had to learn how to talk in front of people. You just kind of have to fake it till you make it. If you try and exude confidence when you're talking in front of people, people don't know that you're internally freaking out. How did we even get started talking about that? I feel like I could make a whole Shadow and Schmooze video just about introverts and extroverts. I find it so fascinating. Rachel says, how long does it take you to edit a video? What's your least favorite part about editing? Is it weird watching yourself? To edit a Shadow and Schmooze, it takes longer because I have so much footage to go through and cut out, and I just get totally sick of hearing myself talk. I think I'm gonna try out this Moonplay Cosmetics stroboscope. It says Hyper Flash Orb Powder. This is in Lady Goldfish. That's quite the name. I unboxed this on Snapchat, and this I think is my favorite packaging I've ever seen. I do not know what shade this is gonna be, but I might try and use it as like a highlight slash blush topper or something. Whoa, this is like straight up gold. Okay, this might be really pretty. I don't think the packaging of this is very practical for a highlight. Like, it's kind of annoying to have to tap all this out. Anyways, it takes me longer to edit a Shadow and Schmooze video. Shadow and Schmooze, it usually takes me about at least 3.5 hours, usually 4 hours to edit. Other videos like Foundation Friday videos take, I would say, minimum 2 hours. The quickest I can usually edit any video is 2 hours. And that is if I'm like totally in it to win it, going as fast as I can. Very pretty on my skin tone. It looks a little bit yellowy. And what did she say? What is your least favorite part of editing? What's your least favorite part about editing? I would say editing itself. I think my least favorite part of YouTube is editing, to be honest. I really don't like editing. I like every aspect besides editing. I think editing creatively is different. Like if you have a fun video that you're working on, or like sometimes I like editing routine videos or try on hauls and stuff where you can get a little bit more creative with it. But if you're just editing like a foundation review or something, it's pretty repetitive. I already primed my eyes before when I was putting on my foundation primer, so I'm just gonna go in with eyeshadow. Grace says, would you ever consider vlogging? Not necessarily daily, just random vlogs here and there. You're a really chill person, and I think a lot of people would like to know a little bit more of you outside of makeup. Obviously you don't have to if you want to keep stuff private, but it might be interesting if you're up for it. Well, thank you. Yeah, I like vlogging. I never would daily vlog ever. I just don't want that much of my life on the internet for forever. This is new. This is the e.l.f. Mad for Matte 2 palette. I love the Mad for Matte palette, and this one is like super pretty warm tones. So I'm gonna go in with these, and then I think I have this BH Cosmetics palette that we're gonna use. I feel like I put out vlogs once every month and a half, once every 2 months maybe. Let me know down below if you guys want more frequent vlogs. I don't think I would do like weekly vlogging, but maybe like once a month or something. It's funny because when you make videos, you assume that everyone watching your video has seen every video, but there's tons of people all the time who are new who don't actually know you beyond makeup videos or whatever. So I do feel like vlogs are a good way to show more of who you are. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Let's do eyebrows. That is not the brush. This pencil is too light for me now that the top of my hair is dark again, but it's all I have here, so we're using it. Maker on the home front, which, by the way, thank you. She did a review on 1548. I'll link it down below. What is your absolute go-to foundation, the one you reach for most? I'm gonna be having a whole video coming out about that, so I'm not gonna talk about it now, but she also asked, do you ever plan to move out on your own? I'm assuming you mean without a roommate. I personally really enjoy having a roommate, and I also just like having someone, like tonight we're just going to the movies together. It's just nice having someone to like do small things with sometimes. Top 5 beauty gurus you watch, not just vlogs, etc., but gurus. ShanXO, definitely one of my favorites for years. Oh god, maybe I should focus on eyebrows. Mallory1712, Mallory's one of my good friends. I love her to death. She is great. She's a great person, but she also makes really good content. Casey Holmes, I watched her for years and I still really love her videos. I watch a lot of makeup videos, but my favorite vloggers or YouTube content creators, for the most part, I don't think really make beauty content. Shannon says, does your dad know how much the Beirut family loves him? Seriously, his voiceover was hilarious and he seemed super sweet in your vlog. He texts me every couple days being like, we're up to 60K, we're up to 8,000 likes. He's so stoked on it. He is just loving it. Someone asked if I have tattooed eyebrows, and I do. I have a whole video on getting permanent eyebrows. I'll link it down below, but I go to Karey at Fine Line Studios in Pacific Beach in San Diego. She is amazing. I highly recommend her. She's just super talented, and if you guys go to her, tell her that I sent you. I'm super happy with my permanent brows. I do still fill them in a little bit, just because a lot of times when I wear full-on foundation, it covers them up, but I love when I just like running out the door and I just want to put on concealer or something. It is so nice having your brows done. I just feel like it changes your whole look and shape of your face, so I am very happy with them. Tiffany says, question for your next Shadow and Schmooze. How do you normally respond to people who think makeup is frivolous or shallow? I love makeup and often find the act of applying it calming, but I think makeup often gets dismissed as being shallow. I totally agree with you. As much as you can, if there's someone like close to you, you can educate them on how it is an art form for a lot of people and just a form of self-expression. I actually haven't had a whole lot of people tell me that in real life, but you can tell sometimes, especially when people ask what kind of videos I make and I say beauty videos, that is when I feel like I get some kind of, oh, it's just beauty videos. Something about saying beauty or makeup just makes people kind of dismiss it. Going in with the shade Third Over. But my answer to that, what do you do? I would just honestly say fuck them, like who cares? People are gonna think what they think. If you enjoy wearing makeup, then so be it. Do it. KDG says, what did you major in college? What is your full-time job? I went in depth about my career and college and like a whole motivational speech basically in the last Shadow and Schmooze video. So I'll put that in the eye, which is on this side. I'll put it in the eye, but if you haven't seen that Shadow and Schmooze, I would go watch it because I'm not going to touch on that since I did a whole thing on it last time. I'm taking this second shade right here, which is a little bit darker. Shawnee Ramey says, what is your favorite, Rami probably. What is your favorite book genre to read, favorite book series? Lately, my favorite book genre has, as corny as it sounds, been like romance, but Colleen Hoover is amazing. Colleen Hoover is one of my favorite authors. I don't know what you would technically call it. It's romance, but there's a lot more depth to it than just that. November 9th and Too Soon are my two favorite books by her that I've read so far. I've read about 5 of her books. Too Soon I almost think might pull ahead of November 9th, but November 9th is a good one. If you're like not into reading and you want a book to get you excited about reading, read November 9th. It is so addicting and it's so good. MJD Lux says, what is your dream guy like, Taylor? I think my main must-have is smart. I'm like really attracted to really smart people. And really motivated people. There's nothing more attractive to me than someone who is super passionate about something and just does it. And then also a big must on the list is like to travel. I don't know if I want to live in the US for the rest of my life. I kind of want my kids to be raised at least for some portion of their lives in a different country, just to be exposed to it. And as far as like physical stuff, I really don't have any besides tall. I usually am more into tall guys, which is ironic because I'm 4'11", but I don't really have any specific like physical things. If you know someone that fits these qualifications, hook a sister up. I think I want to take this orangey shade, maybe this deeper one too, kind of mix them. What is this brush? This is scratchy as heck. Crystal Sense. I think I'm going to pause on the e.l.f. palette and let's go in with this BH palette. This palette I'm pretty sure is under 15 bucks. I think I've seen it as low as like 10 bucks when it's on sale. And these are beautiful, beautiful foiled shimmery shadows. I kind of want to do something wild. What if I did this super bright purple? Ooh, this kind of like spruce. Is this spruce? What is this? Maybe we'll do mint. Yeah, let's do that. Lindsay Teeter says, how long do you see yourself continuing with YouTube and would you ever consider starting a foundation makeup line? I am going to continue doing YouTube as long as I'm still enjoying it, which I don't see that changing in the foreseeable future. You never know, but right now I'm really enjoying YouTube or else I wouldn't be doing it. I don't know if I would ever do a full-on makeup line, but I've definitely thought about looking into doing foundation and mixers and concealer and everything, just because that's what I'm most excited about. Nikki says, my question is, I just started a channel, but it seems like it's taking forever to get subscribers. Makeup is my passion. Do you think if I keep up on it that the subscribers will come? So if you just started your channel, but it's taking forever to get subscribers, welcome to YouTube. It takes years. It takes years, folks. A lot of people don't understand that. They think it's easy. They think you just upload content and it appears overnight. No, that's not how it works. It takes a long ass time and you just got to keep doing it. I would say think of creative ways that you can get your videos out there. For example, on like different forums or Reddit or Tumblr, or like responding to threads, Amazon reviews, whatever it is. Think about different ways that you can get your content in front of an audience without being obnoxious. There's a right way to do that and a wrong way to do that. Please don't spam people's comment section with your channel. Not only is it annoying and half the time it does go into YouTube spam filter, so it's a waste of your time to begin with, but a lot of times it just is a little bit disrespectful to be promoting your stuff on someone else's comment section. It's just not the best practice unless you do it in a way where it's related and you think it can actually be beneficial to people. So yeah, it takes years. It takes a long time. So you're not going to see subscribers right away and you're just going to have to keep doing it. And if you love it enough, you will. That was this shade right here. I'm going to take a tiny bit of this one on my finger and just put it right on the center. So I'm just going to take the white right here in this palette. Also, back to that question, I've talked about this before, but if you're starting out right now, start out on Instagram. Do not try and fully just start out on YouTube. Especially with Instagram video, it's just way easier to be discovered right now than on YouTube. Ooh, that's pretty. So I'm taking, what did I just take? This shade again, this orangey shade, and just kind of blending out that top crease a little bit. This reminds me of like a winter mermaid. I feel like that's something I would have named one of my tutorials when I first started YouTube. I'm gonna take the second over shade and blend this on the lower lash line. I'm liking these e.l.f. shadows, blend out easily. I'm gonna take a tiny bit of this purple in here and just blend that down. Eat More Cake says, what's your thoughts on eyelash extensions? I would love to get eyelash extensions if I didn't film so much. It just doesn't make sense for all the eye makeup and stuff I do. Like, it would just be a pain in the ass and they would just fall out. But I love the way that they look. I love that you can just wake up and go. My eyes though are super sensitive to lash glue. I have to take my lashes off after like 2 or 3 hours. So I'd be a little bit worried that if I put them on, it would totally irritate my eyes. So liquid liner, I'm gonna use the Catrice Liquid Liner Waterproof Don't Leave Me pen. I did a full one brand tutorial using Catrice products. Wings are on. I'm gonna go in with some Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I think I am gonna put falsies on today, but I only have literally one pair here, so I'm just using whatever I have. I desperately need to wash my hair right now. Oh shit. What's up? So I have the Ardell Mega Volume 250s. Those are the only ones I have here. I feel like I'm like slouching right now. Oh, Katie Williams says, how old are you? I'm 24. Jerry Lynn 86 says, do you have any pets? What kind? I do not have any pets at my house. My parents just got a new puppy named Parker. He is a mini Aussie and he is the sweetest thing. I miss him every day. Our old dog was super not social and like not a normal dog. He like hated everyone. But this dog is perfect. He is so, I love him so much. I really want a foster dog, but my roommate isn't that into dogs at all. But I love dogs. They're my favorite. I can appreciate cats from far away. I just like don't want them in my life. What is your natural hair color? Miko says. My natural hair color is strawberry blonde. Had it black for over 10 years now. Oh my god, like 12 years. Melissa says, do you have any tattoos? If not, what would you get? I do not have any tattoos. If I did get something, I would get one in half Hebrew, half Arabic. I have a quote that I would get. I just feel like in the next few years, there's gotta be someone who comes out with a more temporary ink and I'm just holding out for it. I actually saw one was like going through, it almost is released. I love the way tattoos look. I just don't know for me personally if I would want it the same thing on my body for the rest of my life. Nothing against people who have them. I think they're beautiful. Caitlin Rollis, which by the way, she always snaps me and I feel like I know you, girl. So she has 3 questions. First, do you think you'll be moving anytime soon? I kind of talked about this in the last one. I kind of do think I'll be moving soon. I don't know. Even though both of my jobs are something that I could technically do remote, it is trickier with YouTube just because of product releases and like getting products right away when they come out and reviewing them, especially foundations are a big part of my channel. So it would be a little bit tricky to do that from another country or like without having a permanent address. We'll see. I've been thinking a lot about it though. And then she said 3, boyfriend yet. No boyfriend. Sandra says, what kind of music do you listen to and do you play any instrument? I grew up playing piano. I actually played piano for like 10 years. I don't know if I ever told you guys that. Yeah, I hardcore played piano. And by hardcore, I mean my parents forced me to practice every single day growing up. What kind of music do you listen to? I would say my favorite artist is Odessa. I love Odessa. They just like always put me in a good mood, but they're still chill, but they're also pump up. Kelly Walton says, favorite restaurant in Seattle? I just want to say thank you for all the hard work you put into your channel. It definitely shows. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Favorite restaurant in Seattle? That's hard, but I think List in Belltown is definitely one of my favorites. They have unreal happy hour food. You can get steak and gnocchi for like under 10 bucks and it is bomb. It's really tiny though, so you have to go early or else there's gonna be 5 billion people in line. I'm going with bottom mascara. I'm using my Wet n Wild Mega Length. Cherry Red 314 says, what is the hardest thing about being on YouTube? Hold on, let's do lips. So Lancome came out with these metallic lip gloss things. Whoops. This is Brush Gold. The purple one is Lavender Patina. And then this rose kind of shade is Mirrored Nude. I think I'm gonna put on like a basic nude lipstick underneath and then go in with one of these. I'm gonna try Kylie Maliboo. I can't remember what this looks like. I haven't used this in forever. Oh, that works. Hardest thing about being on YouTube for me personally is actually that I feel like it affects my relationships in real life because people in my real life that I'm friends with know everything that I'm doing. They know everything that I'm up to and they don't feel the need as much to like reach out and ask and talk because they already know. Whereas I don't know anything going on in their life unless they're posting about it. So I feel like it's affected some relationships in my life where it's kind of made some of them like more one-sided. I think that's the hardest thing for me. I kind of like just the matte look right now with this super shimmery eye, but I'm really curious about these. Whoa, this is like straight up gold. Super sticky. These smell like straight up chemical and I can taste it. I think this is the most intense chemical scent I've had on my lips ever. I feel like I'm drinking a bucket of chemicals right now. I'm wiping that off. Sorry, Lancome, not a fan of that one. I'm gonna use some Urban Decay All Nighter. Before we wrap this up, I also wanted to let you know that when this video is going up on Monday, I'm actually gonna be in Spokane with Project Beauty Share, which is super exciting. They're flying me out there to meet them and look at the warehouse and everything, and I think we're actually doing like possibly a news segment thing. If you want to follow along with that, you can follow me on Snapchat. All my social media handles are right here. I'm gonna be snapping while I'm there, and if you haven't heard of them, that's the organization that the proceeds of the 15 Days of Foundation t-shirts went to. You can send in gently used makeup to them and they distribute it to women's shelters. I'm gonna try and vlog those 2 days so you guys can also see their warehouse and just how things work, and I'm also gonna be giving them the check from the t-shirt proceeds when I'm there. So if you guys like this video and you want Shadow and Schmooze to continue, make sure you give this video a thumbs up so I know. Everything I used like normal will be down below in the description box if you want to check it out. Love you guys, thanks for watching, see you in my next video, bye.